Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you to take your seats, please?
I'm Jo Sykes, and I'm chairman of this company, and we're here to launch the 2013 cycle of the Chester Mystery Plays.
Thank you very much. Find a seat.
I'm Matt Baker. I'm going to be the composer and musical director of Chester Mystery Plays 2013.
I'm Pete Herbert, the production manager for this production.
My name's Andrew Longfield, doing the website.
I'm Jane Dawson and I'm the project manager.
I'm Councillor Stuart Parker, portfolio holder for Culture and Recreation, and I'm here because I'm really proud of what the Mystery Plays do.
You can register at the end of the proceedings, so don't worry about that.
I'm Judith Croft and I'm going to be designing the set and the costumes for the Mystery Plays.
I'm Catherine West and I'm the Arts and Festival Manager for Cheshire West and Chester Council.
I'm Nez. I'm doing all the official photos for the Mystery Plays.
My name is Nick Fry and I'm a member of the board, and it'll be my 6th time, hopefully, acting in the Mystery Plays.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lord Mayor, Mr. Dean.
There is this kind of huge body of volunteers that we work with, and at the pinnacle, if you like, of that iceberg of volunteers is the board.
The warmest of welcomes on behalf of the directors of the Chester Mystery Plays Company and myself to the public launch of the 2013 cycle of the Chester Mystery Plays.
When you look into the history of theatre, you inevitably bump into the Mystery Plays. You can't help it. And so it's an extraordinary kind of feeling, walking around doing your shopping, realising this is where the Mystery Plays were performed. And it is quite exciting, really, to think that this is where it all started.
And it gives me great pleasure to invite the Lord Mayor, Councillor Eleanor Johnson, to launch the 2013 cycle of the Chester Mystery Plays. The Lord Mayor.
Madam Chairman, Mr. Dean, friends of Chester Mystery Plays, tonight marks the launch of the 2013 production of Chester Mystery Plays. Yes, they are that near.
So we're about 15 months away from the opening night.
There is much hard work ahead, but with Jo, Peter and Jane, we already have a winning team.
At the moment, in terms of music, there's absolutely nothing written.
I would now like to invite the Dean of Chester, the Very Reverend Professor Gordon MacFate, to speak to you on behalf of the cathedral.
There's just a groundswell of enthusiasm for people to take part.
These dramatic stories are powerful in impact.
It's very exciting. We've been in all the mini mysteries as well. It's been really fun.
Reading the stories is one-dimensional. Hearing the stories read is two-dimensional. Seeing the stories performed is three-dimensional.
There is the production team now in place, which I have to say is just a joy to be working with people that are clearly so committed and experienced.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Peter Wilde.
Right, well, one of the reasons I'm a director and not an actor is that I'd prefer to be down there than up here, but I'm going to start with a little bit of background and then talk about what you can do to take part in this fantastic cycle of plays.
Well, it'd be great to get everybody involved from the city, people who are hoping to gain some skills or interest in stage management, technical side of theatre. You know, we'd love those people to come along and to get involved.
The Mystery Plays have survived down the centuries for good reasons. Although they were written originally by monks, probably in this very building.
The objective of bringing people before the Bible stories through this project is so well worth supporting that we're really right behind it.
You don't have to be totally religious to get involved in this, but when the stories come to life, it makes you think, there must be a little bit more to this than just a book that tells stories.
They were very quickly handed over to the guilds of the city and had become both a religious and a secular festival, a living, breathing advertisement for the trades of the guilds of the town of the city, a people's festival.
We'll be trying to gauge some ideas from people about what the skills they need to put them on. We know what skills they need to have, so it's just marrying the two together.
And significantly, even then, a tourist attraction.
We support artistic activity throughout the borough. So for us, Chester Mystery Plays is a massive, massive deal, to put it simply.
And that's what we have today, a festival for and by the people of Chester. Now, my job as artistic director is to ensure that we present these plays in a way which delivers that festive feel, which is relevant to Chester and the wider world today, but at the same time honours the tradition of the plays which the Dean was talking about, stretching back 500 years and more.
It will be a challenge in a number of ways. We need to recite where we have our main services and so on and so on.
Obviously there will be challenges working within the cathedral. We have to take very great care of the cathedral fabric. We can't just build a set without asking permission. But we've lost a lot of the challenges because we don't have to worry about the weather anymore.
For the last two productions, the music's been in the hands of the man who I probably have to describe now as the unsinkable Matt Baker. And I'd like Matt just to say a few words, really, about the opportunities the move inside will offer to us musically. Matt.
Thank you very much, Peter. I am delighted to have been asked to play my hat trick and to be working on the Chester Mystery Plays for 2013. We did use quite a few live instruments in 2008, but we had to use them sparingly, obviously, because we couldn't have, oboes which cost however many £1,000, running the risk of getting wet. So now we're inside, it just opens up so many opportunities for live instruments, and so I'm really quite excited about that.
The other thing that's happening is that previously the cycle of 24 plays has been performed more or less complete over 2 full productions. Now this time the decision has been taken to perform a version of the cycle within a single production. Now the writer charged with that job is someone who's written extensively for large community casts. So I'd like to introduce you to Stephanie Dale.
The way I'm approaching the new version is to keep all 3 timescales in mind, and that was something that came from the workshop. The time of the Bible stories, the time of the monks translating the plays from Latin, and now.
It's a visual and audio medium, obviously the plays, and what a great opportunity to try and convey that online.
And if you look at the scene where Herod is talking to his messenger, Herod asks what's going to happen. The next line is, "What says the dream reader?" If you then give that messenger an iPad, I think we have something quite thrilling in terms of language, time, and place.
People are very amenable to that way of accessing the plays, not only as a marketing tool, but as part of the community feel that the plays imbue.
The cycle is principally yours, it's everyone in Chester's. But to help it happen, we brought together one of the most experienced professional teams imaginable for a project of this sort. So apart from Steph and Matt, I'd like to introduce you to the rest of those that are on board so far. One of the most striking elements in the last cycle in 2008 was, for me, the brilliance of the design. And I'm delighted to say that Judith Croft is making a welcome return to the team as set and costume designer.
You might say more of my work's already been done, in that within that cathedral space there's tremendous architecture and tremendous atmosphere already from the existing structure, whereas when we were outside we had to create everything from scratch. I mean, we even had to sort of put down a floor before we could even start to build the set on top of the floor, because we were on grass and it was uneven. So actually being inside the building is going to give the design for the plays a completely different look, and certainly from my point of view it will be a completely different job.
Also on the team is Peter Nash of Monty Funk Productions, who is, and I'm starting to sound as though I'm just hyping everyone up, but this is true. Peter's one of the country's leading sound designers. There are several elements to his job, so I think his best thing is if I just let Pete explain what he's going to do. So this is Peter Nash, sound designer.
Thank you very much, Peter, Lord Mayor, Dean, in fact the whole team, for welcoming me here tonight. More importantly, onto the production team of the 2013 Chester Mysteries. It's an honour, it's going to be a challenge. We've heard everybody mention that tonight. It's going to be a real challenge for the sound because we're moving inside.
I think it will make it completely different in the sense that it can be planned more. I think that's the point, Peter. Before, we've always planned it, but we've always had to have the eye on the weather, that if it is really bad, then we go to plan B or we modify this. This time, all the artistic side and all the performance side can really come together.
There weren't enough Peters at the table. Our production manager is another one. This is Peter Herbert. Pete has an amazing track record in large-scale, site-specific work.
I mean, obviously there's the day-to-day activity trying to fit everything. It's a very tight schedule that we've been given to work with, given the fact that this place is already extremely busy day-to-day. So we've got to try and fit this production into their working day, into the schedule, into the times that they've given us to do this. Having the opportunity to stage one show in a cathedral, as we did, as Peter just mentioned, in Worcester a few years ago, I saw that as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So the chance to do it again here in Chester is just simply amazing. I can't begin to explain how much I'm looking forward to that. We know what skills they need to have, so it's just marrying the two together and then having some workshops to just try and explain what those skills are and how to go about the work that we need them to do.
So, where do we go from here? In October, and we hope this will be part of the Literature Festival, but we're going to launch the script. Because it's a new script, we felt we needed to, as it were, present it to the cathedral, to the people of Chester, and give people a chance to get a feel of what it would be like. And by that time, there will be at least some sketches from Judith showing us how that might be interpreted visually as well.
We're brilliant amateur singers. We can do like, we can puff around, and what do? We're big steerage, we waft around the stage.
Very shortly after that, we'll be running 2 casting weekends. Across those 2 weekends, we'll be meeting people and making decisions about who will play which parts and what their role will be within the production. Now, I'm not calling these auditions because I'm absolutely determined that anybody who wants to be involved in this show will be involved in this show.
What all of the people on the podium were talking about in terms of how people can get involved in so many different ways, and maybe their first time of involvement, or maybe helping them develop further skills that they take on. So for us, it can help us do what we want to do in so many different ways.
It's fantastic community as well. Yeah. Everybody's so lovely, and you become a family. Yeah. And it's just lovely times. Yeah. Isn't it?
I just want to say that for me, being involved in the Chester Mystery Cycle is the fulfilment of a dream.
Because it's a chance of a lifetime. Yeah, we might not be doing it again.
I feel really privileged to be the custodian of this tradition.
It's not just audiences, it's the number of performers, and it's all about building a community through this cycle.
And I know that with this professional team, with the commitment of the board, with the unstinting enthusiasm of the councils involved, and very much of the cathedral community, but above all with the overwhelming energy that is clearly evident with the people of Chester, we can create the most exciting and memorable event in everybody's lives in 2013.
Well, it would definitely not be a mistake. It would be one of the best decisions they made to be in the Chester Mystery Plays because we absolutely love it.
I personally wish Chester Mystery Plays every success that they deserve, and from the launch tonight, we'll go forward to produce excellent plays for 2013 and beyond.